All right, guys. This is David, Sikinimi Comics. It's been a while, guys. Seems like there's nobody at the chat, and just tonight is going to be talking about. I don't know. I guess I saw Black Panther 2 for Forever Wakanda, along with I've been seeing a lot of how would you say it? Lots and lots of people talking about being conned and also talking about some apps that is actually how would you say it not a good format, how it's manipulated, and we'll talk about influencers and how easy. Hey, what's up, comic and culture? What's up, man? Yeah. So today, I just want to get a, I don't know, talk about some how this comic community, this so-called comic community, or is there? What's up, Jay Salsa? Talking about what is this whole meaning of comic community. What's up, Kyle? Man, it's been a while. How's things at Down Under? Thanks for joining in, man. Yeah, I'm gonna be giving away some couple of books tonight. Just saying thank you for your guys' support and all. And along with that, I hopefully there will be some people within the I don't know YouTube community member that will be joining in. Some people might not. What's up, Escargo? How's things in Europe, man? Um, Yeah, so today I want to talk about towards the end I want to talk about Wakanda Forever. There's not gonna be any spoiler. I just want to give my feedback or my thoughts on the movie itself. Along with that, also I want to really talk about what is going on within this comic book community. What's up, comic book crackhead? Yeah, you know what? Comic book crackhead. Just to let you know that I have deleted my whatnot app due to something that is not for me. As you know, when I do sell my comic books, it's not something that I'm not doing it for the sake of. Oh, thank you, Martian. Uh, as for the whatnot, it's something that I sell for for my own personal collection. So it's not something that I'm here to buy it cheap and flip. It's more of you know trying to break even for the month that I spent. So, and I realize that I lose out so much by doing whatnot. I mean, I love the interaction with the people in in the chat and stuff, but still at the point where it was not a great format for me to sell my comics, so I deleted that. And hopefully, I'll do that on Instagram. If not, when I have time, I'll do that on this YouTube channel. Um, yeah. As for Martian, yeah, hey, no problem, man. It's been so while. I'm kind of stuttering and words get kind of tongue tied, but hopefully by throughout this show that I'll get a little bit more into it. Um, yeah. It's I'm selling books more than one. I'm already focused on my collecting. Yeah, I seen you post some of your books on Instagram, and even on Instagram, it's really hard sell, man. I I just thought that maybe even though with the eBay feed, I think the eBay is the best solution for me. Um, I did sell some major key books and on in eBay, and no regrets, no regret. I try whatnot. It's not the same for me. And going into whatnot, I don't know what you guys think about whatnot. A lot of people say it's a great format. I think when I first heard about it, it took me a while. It took me about, I guess, a little less than a year after I found about whatnot, how great that place is, or how great that app is to sell your comic book, because you just sell it live there and then, instead of like in eBay, you post your books, you wait for someone, or you put in an auction, and so and so. Um, I I think it's a great format, but I just feel that it's not for me. Like if I buy a book for like maybe $25-$30, it's not like I can sell that book for $25-$30 because everybody looking for a certain bargain. And for me to be selling my $30 book for $15 is just not a good format for me. I tried it. I mean, I got rid of a lot of books that I probably didn't need for my collection, but at the same time, I did lose out. And from what I hear, is a lot of people saying that you got to be consistent. And as for my schedule and everything, going back again is like working 10 hours a day, 13 hours. 13 days. I only get one day off out of the whole week. It just does not fit for me. And I think that eBay is the best solution. And maybe time to time I'll put a book or two on Instagram just to see if anybody will be interested. But it's not like I'll be selling 20 something dollar. I'll be selling more of a heavier key. Like I put my Ultimate Fallout 125, um, the Jerkovic, and I told him maybe 10,000, 11,000. What's up, Doom? Hey, you know what? If anybody wants to join, and I'll put it right here, in the live post. So, Doom, if you want, man, click on the link below and just join because you've been MIA for a very long time, brother. Um, miss you. Hey, hey, Jay Salsa, like I said, anybody who wants to join this, talk about selling comic book, and it's a little bit more of. I just want to talk about how easy it is to influence collectors or people to buy certain things at such a high rate influence of. All right. I see, Doom, you're at work right now, man. What, it's 6:30 already. You should be out of work by now. But anyway, I'm going to talk about is going back to whatnot is that it's not for me. um it's just that when I do go live, I do have maybe the most is 10, and people just go in and out, in and out, in and out. It's and I just can't do it. Um, yeah, especially the economy. I can totally understand the economy, but I think that there's still people that is buying into books because I see people dropping hundreds of dollars and thousands of dollars on certain books, especially when it comes to a top 10, and things like that. I've been listening to a lot of Keep It Thorough live show, talk about the Savage, how things are being manipulated in certain ways, and how certain retailer it works in a way that maybe a lot of us does not agree to. I understand that it's a part of the business, but manipulating the new collectors or even just their followers is something that I don't know. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but at the same time, is is it really easy to manipulate people to buy certain thing at such a, how would you say it, at a price? Let's say if a book, if a certain book that is should be $10 to $15, but due to the influence, be due to the impact or the views or the followers they have, that book can go up to maybe 30, 40, $50 um in certain apps that they sell. I I don't see how people can follow such certain people that is not as knowledgeable when it comes to this hobby. And definitely I'm not very knowledgeable. I mean, I've been collecting for past like 6 years now, but still there's so many for me to learn. But it doesn't mean that I'll go out there give information that this certain book is something that you should have. It's hot right now, you should buy it. And for me to turn around and say, here, I have this book, you should go get it right now. um is it that easy? Is it that easy for you, for people? um I mean, I feel that because I remember when I was used to be, because crack. Okay, so comic book crackhead is he's saying that I think a few collectors may they want to be feel part of something, then they can buy into a big channel not knowing much. Okay, I understand because when I first started collecting, I didn't know much about comic books. I mean, I collected years before, but after so many decades of out of it, you kind of feel out of the loop. And when I got back in, I needed to know exactly, not exactly, I needed to know what the market was. Second, what was a great read, what is going on within Marvel, DC, and along with some other publishing companies. And I remember I was following this one channel. They always show the top 10 and so on. So and it was like, yeah, a FOMO got to me. But at the same time, it didn't take me not more than 3, 4 months to realize that this is not what I wanted to do. This is not where I wanted to be um, led to. I do have my own way of doing things, and I think every collector should have their own idea of what they want in their collection, not be told what needs to be what they should get, but kind of give them like a solid advice to new or even just the old collectors about about modern or even new comic book day or what. um but I feel as if some lot of these people who has this thousands and thousands of followers in Instagram or YouTube or Facebook to use that to manipulate the followers to buy into their bullshit, um to saying that I have done so much of this. I have been collecting for decades, and I know this certain people. I know this certain people, and they can. I just think it within that loophole of people that they are working together to manipulate this comic community that is so small. It's not a huge. Is I can say it is one of the smallest community within the YouTube, or I can say it Instagram thing. When it comes to sports cards or even hey, what's up, Legend? How you doing, man? Yeah, it's good to see you too, brother. Um, but yeah, going back again is I think they're all in it together. You might not think so, but I see a same type of trend that is happening within this influencers or with people. What's up, Hazel Dan? With people that who has I'm gonna keep calling influencers because they do influence the market. I think they do influence the way the new collectors or even their viewers or followers are watching, and and sometimes they can be very persuasive because they're really good with words. You know, a lot of the great dictators, great leaders were great talkers. I mean, they all they do is talk. They talk and sell things and make you believe that certain things is the right way, is the only way, and that you should follow or you should be part of. You know, um, part of this group or in this thing, in this community to make you feel better. I really don't understand the whole logic of pump and dumping and thing. I could be just talking shit out of my mouth. Uh, but as for me, as for the part of the collectors for the past 7 consecutive years, collecting comics, I've seen so much things that has happened. Before it wasn't so much. It was about everybody just being together, talk about each other, but it wasn't as a group. It was a separate group. You had group here, you had a group there. We had our own little group. I was a part of the 9.2 crew. You know, it was the 9.2 ever part of that being influenced that we talked about comics and everybody grabbed? No. I truly believe that the information that we talked about in certain books was just there to give knowledge to people that who might not know. Um, you know, we always speculated on things. Speculation is great for the market. You can always think ahead to see exactly what happened, but it it's to a point where, yeah, and Great Legend, I do believe so too. I do believe that we as a 9.2 crew, me, Doom, Alex Comic Holder, Master X Splinter, you know, 3562, I think we all gave our own honest opinion about certain books and why we liked it. And but we didn't, I don't think we ever told people to go out there and get it, hype it, pump it, and then go out and sell it. We talked about books that we got as our own collection, but now it's more of, store exclusive, LCS. We talked about certain channels that has a great backing from certain online stores. They can get this and get their exclusive, only 3,500, 3,000 print run, 500 print run, 250 print run. And it's a great cover. But the thing is, I don't think we ever hyped up any LCS until our sponsor. We told them about 789 Comics, which is they're located all the way in UK. They sponsored our show, saying that we did such a great thing, and we told them that if you ever wants to get a great service and a great place that you can buy books, and we told them to go there and to go get it. But we never hyped up about any, saying that they have this certain, they never gave us free comic books saying that you can go ahead and, so no, whatever books that we got from them, we gave it away as a giveaway on each show. Yes, Doom, we never told people. And Doom said right, we never told people what to buy or what's out there, or instead to go ahead and search for them. Yet um we never did. I truly believe, I mean, now is now is I don't know, it's got to a point where people are doing a lot of this top 10, which I think is great information that what was the top 10, but is it, how fair are they? Are they being influenced? Are they being sponsored? Are they being given free books to say that these are, or they getting paid? I don't know what is happening behind the back door, closed door. But I can tell you right now that some of the top tens that I've seen is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And to people out there, uh, wait, comic book head said, say U2 9.2 TiVo said UFO is cheap on specs. So we'll talk. But yeah, I used to buy the UF4 for like $5-10 each. I used to have like 20 of copies, and I just gave them away as part of the AO kid, that I just thought that I believe in this character. Here's a copy for you guys. They who supported me, but never go out there and sold it, saying, "Hey, you know what? This book you need to have. I'll sell it for $30 because it's gonna be main character." But time tells, after 7 years, Miles Morales happens to be one of the main canon in the Marvel universe. Um, so it's to a point, how easy are people, how can people be so naive to believe these people? Okay, let's say that is, even though you are part of this huge group, right? I'm gonna bring back 9.2 crew again, years and years back. I hate talking about the past, but this is the only thing that I can go by, that I can relate to. Let's say that we are part of the 9.2 crew. We have hundreds and hundreds of viewers every time we go live, every once a month, twice a month, and we give great. I think we gave a great info about comic book. I think we were there for the comic book community. I think we were one of the very few that got a sponsor from a for um, online LCS, saying that they will give us free books. We will all you have to do is saying, seven, eight, nine. It's not even the US. If people in the UK sending us books saying that these are these are books you guys can give away on your guys' show. We never did pump it. We never said anything. Some of the books that they gave us that we gave away, it hit the market. It hit the top 10 market. I think some of the things, and we just gave it away as part of saying thank you. And same going back again is let's say we're 9.2. We had the following. People were talking. Hey, what's up? 73713 comic. What's up, man? Like I said, if anybody wants to join in on this chat, you guys can do so by clicking on the link that I'll be sending out. All right. So click on that link, join in. I want to hear you guys' opinion on it. And also today, I'll be giving away two comic books. One is Thor I forgot what issue this is. See, that's what I hate about Virgin. I used to love Virgin, but now I can't. It's a J. Scott Campbell, 1/100. Um, and also, I'll be giving away this Edge of Spider Verse. I forgot the artist's name, but it's Big Time Collectibles. One of the other people that who's is really big into exclusive, but I got this for free. So just not from Big Time Collectibles. I'll tell you the story about. Uh, you can hear the story about it on my next haul video. But yeah, so this will be given away. Uh, Yeah, hey, I think I'll be alive for another maybe 45 minutes or so. So even though you can have time, just jump in, guys. Um, yeah, please thumbs up if you guys like or not. But going back again, so us being me as being part of the Ninth Crew years back, we had a great following, so and so, and I don't know how many people. If think out if I'm outside and I'm watching the 9.2 crew, how great how great information there are, how great chemistry, how the panel members are just kind of clicking each other. And it was fun. We gave jokes and stuff. I liked it. But going back, what I'm trying to say is how how much do you want to be part of that? It's great to be part of something good or great, but what length are you willing to go to be part of that? And I think it's to a point where I see a lot of people would go that extra mile for to be a part of something that they can do on their own. You know, Uh, for instance, I'm gonna go back to Whatnot again. I saw this disturbing video by Decor. If you're not following this guy on Instagram, I mean, it's good. Whatnot. I think he posted something about Whatnot and how this. I guess he was I guess AKA Bolo. I guess he's someone that within. If you ever join Whatnot, go through that whole interview and stuff, he's the one that kind of tells you about Whatnot before you get to be a part of the great group. So anyway, so this guy Bolo, he reached out to one of the guy from Instagram and to say that, hey, I saw you posted a couple of the WWF or WW whatever wrestling thing, and he said that he'll make it up in trade by 5 times the value. Along with that, they'll give you a check mark or something. I don't know what the check mark is all about, um, but at, and then later to find out he got the book, but whatever he got in return was not even up to par to the books that he has sent to Mr. Bolo. Um, and also he was promised that he will be taken care of. Like, how would you? I don't understand. Like, I will take care of you. What does that mean? Like, you are a corporate. You're one of the member in the corporate. You want to have a um, fair view of things and what you do within your company and whatnot happens to be your company that you work with, and you tell this guy that I'll I'll definitely will treat you well. You don't worry about it, and I'll give you a check mark. And from the end of the story is that he never got that check mark. He never got been taken care of, and he's being ghosted by this guy Bolo. That he sent this amazing collection of wrestling comic book, and he got ghosted. I've been reading a lot of through his I've been through a lot of his comments, and it's like this guy Bolo is not a one-two time that he had done to the people within the community. He false promises a lot of things. He said that he would take care of them, never do, and ghost them once he gets the book. And then he goes,
Ugh.
"What's up? Oh, you're up, old man.
Hold on, I'm
No, you good.
about this thing. I'm not too intelligent with this stuff.
Well, you don't have to go there, but yeah, we know you're not the brightest star out there, but clicking a
I
button on your
want the
phone.
best
No,
for you,
you
though.
sound
So
good. You
it's all
sound
good.
good, Tito.
Hold on, I got to figure out what.
You're not doing anything wrong. You just leave it as is. You sound great. We have
I
you on the
can
camera.
barely hear you though.
Well, maybe you need to put up your volume. I
Mm,
can totally see how you look if when you're watching porn. Is this the look? Is this the intensive look you always have when you're watching porn, Tito? Say he can't hear me.
yeah, I can barely. I mean, I hear like something faint.
Well, why don't you go out and come back in again?
I'm getting out.
So go back again is how far are you willing to go to be in part of this group, to be a part of this group that it's you think that is so worthy, you know? Um, I never wanted to be a part of anything. It just happened. Like I bumped into Doom 143. We lived in Hawaii. I wanted to meet this guy because he was one of the guys that I watched and he gave me encouragement. He gave me, you know, to start on my own YouTube channel, stand in front of a camera, start talking, talk about comic book and show comic books that I picked up. And as for my thanks to him, I became a friend with him. I consider Doom as 143 as my friend. I don't know how he thinks about me, but I hope we feel has the mutual feeling that we are friends. And if I ever do go back to Hawaii, that he'll spare a day or two, maybe a golf, a round of golf, or maybe a dinner. But anyway, and that was it. And that became to a point where he invited me to be a part of the 9.2 that him and Alex, the comic order, talked about and doing a live showcast. And that was pretty much it. And everything from then on, it's just more of like a snowball effect. It's just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And as you get big, of course, everything goes up, must come down, right? And just after about a year or so, 9.2 debacle, but it was never sad. It was always a great. But I don't see people want to be part of this and going out of the way to do certain things for us. And we never ask for anything. We never pumped any books. We never gave away any book. But nowadays, it's more of this influencers, just saying, buy my mystery box, buy my, we have a great LCS that's giving, that's selling to go there and buy their books, and we don't go out there, within on the day of the release, we don't go out there on YouTube and say, you need to buy this book because it's, who wants to buy for like 25? It's sold out. Is it really sold out? I don't think we ever did that. I don't think we ever had that problem of, doing that, because now it's to a point where store variants are pretty much everywhere. I love great cover. I'm a cover collecting guy. If I see a great cover, I get it. Sometimes I might pay premium. Uh, but you okay now?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good. I can hear you good before.
No, I couldn't hear you. I'm working on these little headphone beach things, but I usually is able to listen to it on the phone, but for some reason it didn't want to work out.
Oh, so how you been, brother?
Just chilling, pretending like I am important in life, which I'm not. So
Well,
that's why
don't put yourself too down, brother, because regardless how small or big, we do have an impact on everybody's people life. You have your two daughters, you know, you have your dog, so that's
yeah.
big. That's important for you to be there for them. Um, hey, I was just talking about people, how people are willing to go there. Let me rephrase that. How easy is it to influence a new collector or people in general to
Oh,
be
hold up. Well, hey, Legend. Hey, Jay Salsa. Hey, Tats. All right.
okay? You said you're high. How easy? How easy is it? How do you feel that how easy it is to people to be influenced by certain individuals, certain groups, for you to be part of that, and how and what length are you willing to go to be a part of it? Am I making sense to you?
No, but I think I understand. So I think as far as being influenced, it is the receptor's lack of knowledge and you know, them wanting to find out certain information. Now, for example, if you were to go to YouTube or Instagram or any social media platform to go out and get help, whether it be type in comic books or best comic books to have, then obviously YouTube works in their algorithm to probably give you the most viewed or the most commented. So I think gauging off that response, the new guys will go there first. Small channels like mine won't get recommended. You're talking about the people that have thousands and thousands of views. For example, if you go hit, if you type in top 50 comics, just because let's say you were bored and you're taking a long drive, you'll have, yours, Rich, other Rich, Doom, like those are the recommended videos that have thousands upon thousands. So based on that, you will assume, I'm assuming, that if there's a lot of views, they might think they know what they're talking about. So as a person that kind of got wrapped up with let's go with like the FOMO, right? You watch these top 10 lists or you watch these comic book hauls and think to yourself, well, damn, if X person is showing this, it's probably a good book to go out and grab. And it, it's all in time of experience, right? Once you kind of watch everything, kind of get settled down into your own, you know, likes, then until then, it's just going to be a bumpy road until you figure everything out.
But do you ever had that feeling when you first started collecting that maybe because it seems like what you just said is something that you went through on your own experience.
As far as me, not really. I spoke about at least one instance that comes up from the top of my head, which is FOMO. Um, was when Matina came out with the Super Sons. And I think you were around during that time when I picked up that Matina Super Sons. And then I grabbed it and I'm like, the fuck am I going to do with this book? Like, I don't care about this book. So as far as FOMO, that's probably the one time that I've actually sat there. But figuring out and learning what it is that you want to collect, uh, I've always known what I collected. I love watching top 50 videos and kind of seeing what books might interest me and pique my interest and go into like a research mode. But yeah, one of the guys, Lightning 2288, right? I love this top 50. Like that's a top 50 that when I first came in watching YouTube, like I wanted to mirror that top 50 because it was pretty legit to me. And I still think it is legit. It's you know it serves time pretty well. It holds up real good still to this day.
Yeah, I mean, I love the top 50. I watch hundreds and hundreds of top 50,
Yeah.
and it's to a measure of being financially stable against people that new collect. You can kind of see who started collecting. You can kind of see the veterans, the people that who started collecting long time ago, because the magnitude of their key or the grail, some people they show, is huge. But at the same time, out of the 100 videos that I watched, I say 80% of them is pretty much the same type of books. It's always going to be FF1, you know, FF48, giant size X-Men 1, ASM 129, ASM 300, all that book.
But if you're talking in relative to a new person coming into the hobby, and that's another thing, what exactly are you coming into the hobby for? I mean, are you coming into the hobby because you want to rekindle the nostalgic factor of when you were a kid reading your comics? Are you coming into to the hobby to make money? Are you trying to come into the hobby to invest for future money? So it really depends on what is your end goal.
Well, there you go. I think you said the main thing. I think a lot of the new collectors are coming in here that is in this hobby as right now is to make money, because a lot of the videos that I see is that oh, this book I got for $50, but I sent it to CGC, came back 98, 9.8. Now this $50 book became a $300 book. It's like, really? I mean, I'm a guilty at it myself as well, because when I first started collecting myself, I did it for the sake of reading the comic book. Yeah, believe it or not, guys, I read comic book before. It was never about the monetary value of it. It was just the pure enjoyment of the story that I liked. And then after, what happened is that, believe it or not, monetary value became a factor in my collecting, because I am spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars on a book that I'm reading, but as a return, I'm not getting anything out of it. Because
Well, I mean, so that's the thing is, look, I got long boxes of what monetary value collectors would say junk. Like I got junk books as far as monetary value, but as far as mental value, as far as nostalgic value, reading value, that's a whole different game. Like those books are, as far as that is concerned, as valuable as my 181 or my 129. So it really depends on what value means to you. It's such an objective word. Most times people think of value and it's monetary, right? And that's not always the case. Uh,
No. So my thing is going back to being how easy to be influenced. It's like it seems
mm.
as though people are influenced because they're in it for the money. They came in
Well,
asking the money, but for them to make money, they need to be in within certain crowd or certain group in
well,
order
I
to
mean,
make.
not. I don't think that's the case. If you most times people hang out with like-minded people, right? So let's say person X over here wants to make money, and I am in the business of making money. Then I'm going to go to that person X and say, hey, you know, can you give me some tips and tricks on how to make money off this hobby? You know, but I watch. I don't have a life. I watch a lot of YouTube and I listen to a lot of these YouTubers out there. And the problem is, well, I'm not going to say the problem. Like that's my own personal problem. But what I see is monetary value has superseded everything else in this hobby. You know,
Yeah,
it's
and,
it's
and
it's,
that's one
it's
thing that made you sick to your stomach because a lot of people are talking about, and I'm a victim of it, and I was one of them as well. We talked about selling comic book, whatnot. I'm selling these books on whatnot, common joint and whatnot. Everything has to do with, this book is hot right now. I'm selling this comic book. I remember you were so disgusted. Am I not, you were so disgusted that this comic community that once we knew, it has completely turned to a point where it's not about nostalgia, about just having certain books because it matters to us. And now it's all about money. It's all about monetary. It's all about speculating, getting the books, and
well, so that's always been a taboo subject, though, hasn't it? I mean, the hobby in itself was funded by the hobby itself for the longest time.
yes,
That was always second nature to the hobby, like the getting the books. It was never talked about how I got the books, but me getting the books is what was talked about. So when the conversation changed from hey, I got this book to I'm selling all this stuff to get this book. It's kind of like one of those like
but
I
it was
know
never that
Sarah.
transparent though. Do you feel that people are being transparent about, I'm going for my grill, I'm going for my, let's say, Fantastic Four number one,
Mhm.
low grade, and say, you know what, this is my journey. I'm selling this book to get there. It was never transparent to a point where I see a lot of people are just.
Well, here's the thing, and I'm glad you actually brought up that particular example because that is an example that I believe helps the argument of fund the hobby, right? So I know I made a video a couple of years ago talking about the type of sellers that I liked and disliked. Not that anybody cares, but it was my own personal opinion. And Biggie's, and who else used to do it? Biggie's, ETA Nick, I think, did it too. But and Erod, Road to the Grails, where my angle is to get this Fantastic Four number one. But in order to get the Fantastic Four number one, because I'm not a rich person, I got to go and start selling these books. So that kind of adventure, that kind of that road to get that grill, I think is an absolutely like awesome idea because you see as a person, what work they did to get to that book, and it's much more appreciated as a viewer. Now, I'm sure as the person that's actually going through that road kind of sucks, but as a viewer, you know, it, it, it just means a little bit more to me because I know how much you worked.
Yeah, and
You know,
we only can judge for what we see or what they tell us, right? We just have to
well,
take
I'd
them.
rather see than being
Yeah,
told.
we just take their word for what they say. So
Hmm.
true that, a lot of, I still believe that a lot of people get their book for $1. I say 90% of it's BS, and that 10% is true hunters, you like yourself, and some few other people that I know that actually go out there, spend time, hours and days of just going through, driving miles and miles, and getting and achieving that certain books that is really hard to find, that has a great monetary value. But 90% of the time, I don't believe that they all got it for a dollar. They found it at certain thing, you know, and but we just have to take their word because we really don't know what the backstory is about. I'm kind of hoping that they tell the truth, or they're just saying that to make their video or make the story a little bit more likable for to get viewers or so and so. But going back again is all right. So like Erod, Big E's, and ETA Nick, they all said this is my road to my grail, whichever the book is, and they will do certain things. They will sell their certain books, and they'll be very transparent. These are the books I'm going to be selling. They don't overprice it. They might go under the GPA, just so I think these are people that who's really legit, is part of the comic book community that really wants to give the value to the collectors, who wants the books that they're selling in order to get their grill, right?
Well, not only that, it also shows them that with, as much as you hear, let the hobby fund itself, but it also shows that, hey, dude, you ain't got to spend $30,000 out of your money. It might take you a little bit longer my way, but it's going to be a lot cheaper this way as well.
Yeah, no, it's time consuming. I'm still, my grill is AF-15. You probably know that, and I have sold many books, but how close I am to AF-15? Zero. Zero, because it's just zero. I'm just being very honest. Out of all the books that I sold, I sold my FF48. I sold my Hawk 181. I sold other books and so and so. I should be accumulating closer, maybe 30% to what I'm looking at, but I'm at zero. I'm back to zero again. But that's not my point. The thing is, these people that we just mentioned, they are very transparent, and we know what their game plan is,
Hmm.
and this is the reason why they're doing it. But when it comes to influencers, they are not really into comic community. We don't know what their end game is. All we know is that they're being hyped by a certain group, and they're just pumping books, and my I'm just boggles my mind that these people, these followers who is following them, is actually spending money on a ridiculous books. Like for instance, they'll be selling this book, which is probably cost about 10-15 bucks, right? But they're willing to spend $50 to $60, three, four, five times the value of this original price, to be a part of that. You understand? Uh, you get what I'm trying to say, Tito, is that people are willing to go through that extra mile because to get a book from, let's say, I got a book from,
Person X.
yeah, let's say X, right? Master X Splinter. He's a huge influencer. And I say, oh, I got this book from Master X Splinter. I paid $75, but he's such a great person. He's such a knowledgeable. I'm very good to, I'm very. It's like, to me, I don't understand the whole mentality of that. Spending so much money on that influencers, paying five times more than what you could have bought it at cost, but just because you want to be your name to be shut out, or you just want to mention their name, or it's just, I just don't get it.
Right,
And
right.
and the other thing is that these influencers, they're not very transparent. They lie to you. They say one thing, but their action is different.
Well, like for most of the examples are going to be like personal examples. Have I bought stuff that is more than what other people believe to be, the value of it? Yes, I have. For numerous reasons, whether it be I like the kid and I want to support him, or there's a charity out there, I'm willing to support it. Um, it's just whatever reason it is. It's just look, what you spend your money on, that's up to you. I can give two shits. Just be smart about it, and I don't want to hear your mouth later on when you say I overspent the money. Like you should have known that going in. Every book that shows up in an auction, every book that's on eBay, every book that's on a buy it now, before you even touch, throw a number out there, you should already be doing your research through multiple different sources, not just one. And those that buy books from influencers, the top guys in the hobby, and I hate saying that top guys in the hobby because majority of them aren't top. They're in it for the money. It's all business to them, and some might say, "Well, I'm a collector too." Well, motherfucker, show me some books in your personal collection. All right, show me some shit. Like when we do a top 50, won't you get involved in that tag? Like, if you say you're a collector first, then show me you are a collector first. Not just say that you're a collector first.
Yeah, I've been hearing that I'm a collector first from, I think it was Reggie Collects. You know,
I mean, every literally everybody out there, every every single person that is a podcast that has more than X amount of thousands of followers, right? They all say they are collectors, but have yet to get involved in a tag video, to get involved in some shit. Why? Because they ain't a collector first; they're a business first, and then they're a collector.
well, it's come to a point where I've been watching a lot of videos. Like once again, I've been watching Keep It Thorough videos. I watched some other, and it seems as though there's so many people are being conned or being in how would you say it, influenced or manipulated to get a certain books that it doesn't really cost nothing. I mean, going back to Whatnot, you remember the Whatnot? They had their own exclusive for Invincible #1,
Mm-hmm.
and they were just giving away to people within Whatnot, saying thank you. But you have to be at a certain level. You need to sell so much. You need to be with. You need to sell so many. You got to have so much rankings. You need to have so many units of within the Whatnot for you to get this part of this exclusive, right? And this
But
book is
that's no different than what's your biggest shop in Washington?
what?
You
What
have a
was that?
franchise shop. What's your biggest shop in Washington? Like what? Like is there a comic book shop that's a franchise that's two or
Nope.
three stores under the same umbrella? Okay, so San
Not that I
Antonio
know
has
of.
one.
Not that I know of.
San Antonio has one, right? It's called Heroes and Villains. They got two different separate locations. So when they allocate their numbers for books, they are able to take that one allocation but distribute it between the two stores. So what does that do? That gives you the ability to order more books for, let's say, a 1:1,000 ratio, 1:500 ratio, and you won't get hurt too bad because now you have two stores that you're able to split that 500, 1,000, and maybe your loss is not as much. But you can't really do that with a mom and pop shop with a population of like 5,000. So there is no difference between Whatnot and all those big guys that get that exclusive versus a comic book shop that's franchised out, aka Midtown as well, and that is able to get those big exclusives. To me, there's no difference. It's just, are you willing to pay that? That's the only difference.
What? Well, you can put it as that way, but I see a whole different way. Is that this book has, I don't know how many print run this book had when they first came out, but people are
Nobody
spending.
knows.
What was that?
That's, print runs is a whole different story. Nobody
You
ever
know,
knows a true print run of a book.
yeah. So who knows? But what I'm saying is only certain people within the whatnot had that very low print foil, exclusive from whatnot, for that Invincible number one, which was selling for. And these people are selling on whatnot once they got it. They're selling for $500. It was selling for $500 raw at one point. I was shaking my head, and it's to a point where it's not even a ratio. It's a rip
It,
print book that came out decades ago, and because of
it,
these influencers are hyping this book up, say this is so and so.
so
I
now you're abusing your power. You're abusing your responsibility as
Exactly.
a,
That's what I'm trying to say is that
yeah,
influencers are using their followers and so to pump up certain books that even should not be worth certain. But going back again is what are people, what in their mind, because like you said, going back, you don't care how other people spend their money. That's their money to spend. But if what mindset you have to be in that part of that group saying, oh, I want that. I want me, you know, to spend
so,
$500 book that
so
was
I'm not,
given away free to these elite sellers and whatnot, and they go turn around and sell it for $500, and we really don't know if there was 100 print, 1,000 print, or 10,000 print run. You know?
yeah, well, I made a post, I don't know, probably 2 years ago or something like that, that I got a lot of flack. And I caught a lot of flack, and I get it. I mean, I'm no doctor, I don't hold a PhD, I'm nothing in the medical field. But to me, there's got to be a connection between FOMO and some kind of addiction, and some which is a mental illness. So if there is a connection between FOMO and addiction that is a mental illness, then that's kind of like the route that I would have to say is they are mentally just cramped down because they can't control it.
They can't control what
Uh,
themselves spending money.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And well,
So
I
when I believe you spoke on it, I know there's a few people that spoke on it. I'll speak on it with when it comes to FOMO, right? When when the voice of the mass is so loud that you have no choice to listen, well, you always have a choice, but you just can't help but to listen, and it's coming from people that you think are reputable, then you know you're going to jump into that same boat. I mean, I did it with Super Sons.
Yeah, you were mentally ill when you bought that Super Sun.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, yeah. I remember once you bought it. I remember saying like you said, "Oh, never again, never again."
And you know what? Up until Punisher number one, the Delato and the High Republic Clone Wars variant, those are the only two store variants I bought since then. Because I
I
bought it
mean,
because that I liked, not because other people said it.
yeah, but when you bought that book, I'm sure there's something in your back of your mind, not because what people said, because one, maybe the cover, maybe the artist, they had
It was the
you
artist. It
gravitated.
was Martina. It was Martina.
Yeah, it was Francisco Matina. So
Yeah.
it's not like, oh, I had to get it because people told me to buy it and I bought it. You like the fact that it was done by Matina. It was something that you feel that the cover was great, but once you received it, it wasn't as everything what you thought it was.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, I get the same thing. I mean, I buy a lot of things. I buy a lot of store exclusives just for the sake of the cover, and once I get it, I'm happy with it. But at the same time, I I'm thinking back is like, can I how why did I get it? You know,
Hold
And
on, dude, I ain't no doctor. It's just a dude making observations.
what's up, comic book galore? I just wanted to know. I just wanted to talk about this topic. Is like how mentally ill, since us non-PhD doctor think that you got to be in certain illness for you to be spending that kind of money on a book that doesn't, for in my opinion, doesn't hold that value. You know, it's just crazy how people are willing to spend that kind of money just because.
But at the end of the day, it's
I don't
all
know
a
if it,
learning curve for them.
what was that?
At the end of the day, it's a learning curve for them. Because I'm sure a lot of those folks that spent those hundreds of dollars on that book look at that book now and think to themselves, why did I buy this book? I could have bought this book over here. You know, it's all a bumpy learning curve.
And well, the learning curve I went through myself, but it was never a point where people told me to buy it. I mean, I had to do my own research. I did what I need to do, but uh,
So so let's change the wording around on that, David. You said that people told you not to buy that book. But let's say Master X Splinter or The Doom or Freddy's or Triple C showed this book, spoke on this book. It's a book that you've never seen or heard of. And you look at it and you're like, I like this book. And then you go out there and bought that book. They didn't tell you to buy it, but without them, you would have never known about that book. So
true,
it's like it's an inadvertent, accidental shit that happens, and I
true,
think everybody needs to be cognizant of that.
true. I won't lie, true. I've been, I see what they show. If the cover is right for me, yes, I went out there and bought it. But but at the same time, it was to a point where I did that research in the market and see how much what that book was going for, and I bought it at the price that I thought it was reasonable because the book was already out there. Nobody,
Mhm.
but I'm talking about more of the new up and coming books, the new releases books that is coming out, and people are willing to pay those stupid money just because this influencer saying this book you should, they're pumping the book out. Like for instance, like a lot of the con exclusives, all right, they go out there, they bought they get the book for $10, and there's people with a lot of followers, so and so, and they go on their YouTube channel or they go on their whatnot app or they go into IG, and they said, and they will say, this book was been sold out and so and so and so, and I'll sell it for $50. It's like when you got it for 10, you really want it for 50, and people are willing to pay $50 to $100 for it. That I don't get.
Yeah, neither do I.
I don't get it.
The, I don't know if you fell into this, but you kind of look back, especially pre like 2020 to 2019, and you look back, and because you're so cheap that you didn't want to spend the money to buy the book that you
Yeah.
wanted to buy, and then you look at that same book now and you're like, motherfucker, I should have just spent the money back then, but I was a cheap bastard.
No. That
I know
FOMO,
I
that
number one.
completely passed me. Like for that what was that book? 8 billion genies.
The fuck is that?
Yeah, well, see, I mean, there's a book called 8 million genies
Uh-huh.
that came out, and right now is selling at maybe 20, 30 something dollars when you can got it for $5 each. 9 point, and there was this one exclusive. Some other LCS was selling this homage to, uh, I forgot what it was, Nintendo bits or something.
Okay. I know what you're talking about. I know
Yeah,
what you're talking
I
about.
had the chance, but I said, this is not for me, and I never got it. But it never come to me. Oh, I should have got that book. No, it was never about that. See, dude, that's the one. Also, Ahsoka. Ahsoka was never a character that I cared for. So regardless how expensive that book came, it was never a thing for me. It's like, so
Yeah.
what? So what? When Moon Knight, you talked about Moon Knight, how Drescher talked about Moon Knight, how great this character was. But to me, that character don't mean anything to me. What he said?
Yeah. No, oh no, dude, talking about he should have picked up more Ahsokas, and I reminded him of his room tour that he threw the Clone Wars #1 variant on the floor like it was $1. Just toss that bitch on the floor. It's a
Yeah.
$20,000. Just gonna throw it on the floor.
Well, who knew?
Yeah. Well, if it, and it's like a repeating, like a broken record, right? For the new guys that are coming, the new guys is general statement for girls too. All right. But for all the new folks that are coming in, it's what is your end game? What exactly it is that you want from this hobby, uh, and that's it. And it's going to be a lot of bumpy ass roads that's going to get you to that end game. And it's whether you are trying to stick it out or get out. What's up, Gomez? Look at you, homie. What's up,
What up, big
boy?
dog? You hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, you good, man.
Shoots.
Yeah, no, we're just talking about how sheeps will always be ships, and and how people are so easily can be influenced to get the book and pay premium price for a book that you could get it so much cheaper years down the line. I say about 99% of the books that's been hyped up right now. That's about a year from now. You can probably get it
You
for
know,
cover price.
like I stopped buying a lot of that hype bullshit. I just stopped buying what I enjoy collecting lately in the last few months or last year. So because I don't buy into that shit. You either buy it because you like it and you pay that price, and you're not gonna have any regrets towards your collecting because you decided that you wanted that book, depending on the price. I think Kingdom Comics, yourself as well. We've been through that hiatus where we just buy what we collect when we like. Say hello. Say hello. But yeah, basically, that's what that's what we do. And we've learned being old timers. We don't go into that whatnot hype. I was just watching Thoro's live earlier, and it's just too much. It's just too much bullshit out there, and I think that's why a lot of us stay away from this stuff that we're doing. And we do have buyer's remorse and not buying it when we should have bought it. Yes, but then that learns to being as a collector. If you didn't buy it when you want it when you were gonna get it, then you wasn't meant to be getting. What I mean, it's like there's one of those things where it's like, okay, yeah, I don't want it. I'm not gonna have no buyer's remorse now as a collector. It's either I wanted it then and I'll get it then. If not, then it's time to move on. There's always something that you're either trying to collect or trying to compete. Not complete. I'm a completist when it comes to certain things, and I stopped buying all that hype, that bullshit that people do.
I
That's
think we
that's
all kind of grew out of that FOMO. I mean, I think I also myself after 1 year of collecting, I said, you know what? Why am I doing this? Why am I spending money? And I think we all learned our lesson, our curve, as years we're collecting because I think but there's so many people out there that would years and years into collecting, but they will still support this people that is just in for the sake of just making money for themselves. And that's the whole mentality. I was thinking, I can't even fathom what their whole mindset is, and it is just sometimes it could be. Sometimes I get mad, get frustrated. Like, what are they thinking? Why would you want to support this guy? Because you know that these guys are lying through their teeth about certain things. They're pushing junk comic books. They're hyping up books so that they make money. So they make money to, I don't know what they do with their money. Like for Comic Con, the guy's been fucking lying his through his whole years and years and have people buying through his bullshit, and people with the followers that paying those kind of money, he finally got an AF-15.
Yeah, we all learn through collecting. Right? We all have our different ways of collecting. I think.
Yeah, I mean, call me sour for not having that, AF-15, and call me sour for not having, for being a smart ass and being more, I don't know, being con artist. But I can't do it. I can't do the things that these people are doing to make money, to get to make money for themselves. I mean, I can't.
Mm,
I have a business myself, but it's not like we're that I'm trying to con into
see,
people to buy my product so I
What's up,
can.
fellas?
What's
what up,
up,
brother?
Marcus? I don't know. It's just my frustration. I just wanted. That's why I wanted to go live. It's like I just wanted to know what you guys thought on this whole influence, how people easier give influence, and what your thoughts were, ours, and
So,
that's.
so David, explain to me. You are frustrated. Are you just clarify?
Yeah, I farted.
So you frustrated because people are buying are buying cheap books at an expensive price from certain people. Is that what I'm getting?
In a nutshell, yes. In a nutshell,
No,
to
no. I think what it is they buy all this books at a certain price, but they're tripling it when they should be trying to give it at a fair market value, but they don't. But to insist on their own collecting or their own doing. But you know what? You you're only gonna
All
do
right,
it.
hold on, Gomez. Let me cut you off.
Go ahead,
Uh,
brother.
David,
yes,
right? You own a shop, right?
yes.
And I'm not. I don't want to get into your finances or anything like that. But let's say you're selling a bottle of water, right? Your MSRP is $3.25, but you
Damn,
bought
that's
it.
expensive water. Okay, we'll go with 325.
All right, but you actually bought it for $1.10,
Okay.
right? So you, as a seller, it is a suggested price. Would you sell it for $2?
When it
Because you
comes
still
out,
made 90 cents. You
So
still made. Still,
here's the thing. Here's the thing that everybody should know. When it comes to groceries, okay, there's a 45 to 50% markup. Okay. So what if you're buying at a grocery? Let's say you're buying a potato chip for, I don't know, let's say $5 for a big bag, $5 chip, right?
open up, it's only half already empty.
Yeah. But the price that you're getting at is not $5. We're getting it for $4. So there is only a certain markup we can go so much. And when it
Like
comes
a
to
30%
alcohol,
gross margin or what?
there's about 25 to 30% gross margin. If you go anything over it, they will penalize you for it. They will tell
right,
you,
which is
Which is happening right
okay.
now. The community or the people.
but I won't go out there and sell that $5 chip for $6, $7. And I will tell them
Well,
straight, like, hey, you know what? If you're gonna pay this, we're selling this. Here's one case. There is a bottled water that we sell, and we get it from Costco. Okay, and we sell individually. It's per unit price. You can get it for maybe 25 cents, right? 25 cents per unit, but we do sell it for 75 cents to $1. Okay,
I'm watching.
but people, and maybe when people buy it, and I always say it. You can get this at Costco. No, I always tell them that they can get a cheaper. They can get it cheaper if they do go somewhere else. But it's just to a point that our convenience store is middle of nowhere, so people tend to buy that 35 cents water they can get at Costco, and they pay 75 cents to $1 for it. But I do tell them you can get it cheaper at somewhere else. I always trying to be transparent
Yeah,
when
see, but
you know
that's part of people being lazy. People being just, I just want to get it. I just want to get it no matter what. That is part of FOMO. That's
yeah
part of people want to buy it at that price because they just want to get. They don't want to be the patient of finding it somewhere else that's cheaper. It's like, for instance, say you see two copies on eBay of a comic that you want to buy. Say they're like 15, $20 for the two copies after you buy it and shipping. Just for instance, you go to a comic shop, wait till the next day or wait till the afternoon, go to comic shop. You end up buying two of those copies for half the margin of value that you're paying just by being patient. Yeah, it's going to cost gas is going to gas is going to cost you a little bit, but if it's on your way of work or something like that, you're saving money. So it's all about patience. It's all about, is it really worth it? You always got to question yourself as a collector. I'm
yeah
not a flipper.
but
You
but
know
but
that.
the
Hazel
thing, the
Dan.
thing that is frustrating me is that people are willing to pay. No, I think they're knowingly know that they can get it for let's say a $5 book, but they're willing to pay $20 for a book just because there's one certain individual they've been following are selling.
They just want to hype up the person.
I that's the whole fathom that I can't understand. I can't fathom that. It's just like it's like going back to when I was a part of the 9.2 crew. Just because we had so much following, we had so much following that it doesn't mean that I'm gonna go sell my books to you just because you wanted to be part of this 9.2. It's like it
Hey,
was never done that way, you know?
Hey, I'll be real about it. The way I look at it, you guys ever watch Twitch, right? Where you got those gamers and all that stuff
yeah,
like that,
yeah,
right?
yeah. My brother
People
do
Yeah.
give
that.
money to those guys to watch them do the same thing they're about to do.
Yeah,
People
but
watch, all these other.
why would I understand that. I mean, there's people fucking willing to give money to people just so that they play games. I don't
Yeah,
understand. I just don't understand that. It's like why? Why you want to give money to people to fucking play games? Why?
Okay, so why do you pay money to, whatever?
Why
I
do
look at it. If you go to a certain
I buy
platform,
a
you
comic,
definitely
I
pay.
pay rent?
Cox. I said Cox.
No,
Like
no, it's
the
like the same with
local.
buying boxes for comics or we buy stuff for like figures on it. They're gonna think of the same aspect when it comes to gaming. There's
I
just
agree.
a
Yeah, I mean, they're getting entertained.
yeah.
They value the whatever they're putting out. So
The
they,
super chats when they do
Super chat,
YouTube,
same thing.
yeah,
it's all
same
for
thing.
them.
So,
It's like the viewership that we have right now, the 15 people.
Yeah, but
They love
nobody's
us.
fucking giving us money
Hey,
for it.
hey, quick shout out to Hazel Dan by this is for the dope AOK during the October season. I appreciate that. If you guys are watching, I had a quick plug right there. Appreciate that. That was kind. That was great kindness. I didn't expect that. So thank you. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see what I mean when I posted something. Just a
All
quick,
right, all right.
quick plug.
But
Quick
okay,
plug.
but I'm a stubborn as a mule when it comes to
Yeah,
fucking things. Like, but
video
the thing
games,
is,
baby.
why? Even super chat, super. What the hell's a super chat?
Well, you ain't got enough. You ain't got no. You ain't got no. Chat. It's been a minute.
well, super
Man,
chat ain't nothing more than showing love and support. That's all it is. I mean,
Exactly.
just because you are a stingy, cheap motherfucker,
Hey,
doesn't mean that other people are stingy and cheap motherfuckers.
Dave, you know how that Doom's latest
That
response.
shit's hilarious.
Motherfucking
What
shit.
he said?
I like this shit. Everybody can see that. Yeah, he sent me the link the other day. That motherfucker
A fucking ass. No, it's just
golfing.
it's like okay, all right. So it's like super chat to support.
David.
Oh, okay,
Right,
but
right.
but the amount of money that is been spent is just ridiculous to support somebody. It's like
Do
Some
you
people
not
make more
see what
money
these
than
Twitch
others.
motherfuckers? Dude, these Twitch motherfuckers and YouTubes, they make like hundreds of thousands of dollars a
To do the
month
same thing that everybody else is doing for free.
for the support. You know, channel memberships or Patreons, their whatever shit that they got going on. It's just their version of supporting them. And just because you don't value the same way they value those people, I mean, you can't knock them. You might look at
Like I
them.
said, I can't fathom it. I can't even put my finger on what their whole mentality is. Like I would give $1 to, like, if I
I've
wanna
seen that.
throw, let's say I was on Thor live, thing, and maybe I would put $1 saying, hey, you know what, great great thing you're doing, but I'm not gonna fucking give him $50. I mean, it's not like I don't love the guy. I just don't fathom, like, okay, I can support him a different way. I can support him by saying, I can
Share,
shout it.
like, and subscribe.
No, I don't. There's got to be a different way instead of money, a monetary value, money.
Yeah.
You know, it's
It's being
Well, you can't really
present,
say
and
that.
this next thing.
was
You can't
that
really
was
say
that
that
Marcus?
because the
I was saying, just like right now, you got what 14, 50 people in here, right? The presence of people still support. That's great love. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know that,
Um,
and I'm grateful for it, and I don't want anything for it. You know what? I'm willing to give out these 2 books just to say thank you for being my friend.
Okay. fucking,
You
fucking
know,
perfect
not
strangers.
yeah. You know, I'm just saying, thank you guys, thank you, all 15 of you, for being here, and I'm willing to give this here, and this 1 out of 100, J. Scott
I don't
Campbell.
even know what the shit is. What is that? What am I looking at?
Well, I don't know the artist's name, but this is Edge of
No
Spider Verse,
fucking clue.
Edge of Spider Verse #1, Volume 2, first appearance of Spider Rex, right? And you got 1 out of 100, J. Scott Campbell, Thor number I don't know, Virgin. You know,
She's like, fuck this, I'm gone.
I'm going to give this away. It's going to be easy. It's not like you got to answer any hard questions. So before we leave, I'll think of a number, okay, and you just gotta come up with the number, and then this is it. And whoever the winner is, reach out to me on Instagram, and just give me your address, and I'll be sending this to via whatever. If it's priority, first class,
Yeah.
that's pretty much it. But going back again is supporting. Supporting is good. I think we all support each other in a way that we can, not in a monetary value. It's not that we don't appreciate it, but it's to a point where, like, even this right here, people like Compound Strange, Comic Book Crackhead, Comic Book Galore, Escargot, Doom, and you Gomez, Tito, Kingdom Comic, Triple C. We support each other in a different way, but we don't go out there manipulating people, saying that you should get something. We don't. There is no grand plans of us trying to make money off of our followers and of our loyalty to our followers, saying, you know what, we have a Patreon, we have so and so. We don't do that. And I think for us is we are the pure comic book community people that is out there to police these things that is going on, the stupidity that is going on, that what stupidity things that people are doing to support this freaking this crooks, this con people, this influence, you know. And I just have to say it. Not yet, man. I didn't say it. I didn't even think about a number yet, and you guys putting on number 23 already. Um,
Well, here's the thing: is that we are not making a living off YouTube.
no, we had no.
We're not making a living off of selling comic books. Now, maybe once if let's say I say fuck it and I go into the business of selling comic books or trying to do my best to raise subs on the YouTubes in order to be able to live, then I'm sure you will turn into more of a business model and having a different outlook than you are having right now.
Yeah, and
One,
I agree with Tito on that because if this is not fun for you and you're making it into business or job, then it's a work. Then it doesn't become fun no more as a collecting. That's why, like a lot of times, it's not that I don't like to do videos. Just I'll do videos when that's the right time for me and it feels like it's fun for me to do. At this time and point, it's like I'm too busy doing a lot of the shit that's like more important at the time. Then I'll come back when I get a chance. So it's not like I fell off collecting, and I think I speak for a lot of people that's in here. It's just that we don't make this a job. This is not our priority. This is a hobby. You gotta remember, if you this isn't anything here, this is supposed to be a hobby, not a job. If it's a job, then it becomes tiring and becomes something you end up getting bored of real quick.
well, I can tell you one thing. This will never be my job to be on YouTube every fucking day, go live to make money to sell comic books.
Yeah.
It's like you said, Gomez. It was all about having fun,
Hmm.
right? It's about collecting. It's about just the hobby itself. I just did it for the fun, for the hobby, and to a point where I kind of got tired of it, because to a point where job, my
Yeah.
personal
Yeah.
life got into it, and that's why I don't do a haul video, like every other week, like I used to, like 6 years ago. Now maybe I might do a haul maybe 3-4 times a year, if most. You know, so but you would never catch me being on YouTube 3-4 times a week.
It's like one of the things like everyone here in the panel. If I sidebar you guys or like talk to you guys at sidebar, but like you guys would tell me an honest truth of a certain information that I'll share. Like I'll say I wanted this book. We think this is a fair price or this and that. You guys will tell me, and a lot of people in this panel too will tell me the truth, and that's what makes me enjoy the people that I talk to right now and recently, as opposed to collectors, because you guys will tell me the way of like collecting towards my knowledge and sharing each other's knowledge. That's what keeps us going, coming back. It's because we have that truth that we created as collectors, as being YouTubers and Instagram. Because everybody here right now is from different areas. We don't live next to each other, so that's what makes it nice. Because I don't have friends. I don't know. I don't have a lot of friends where I live. Maybe one or two that I collect comics that are into it. There's very a small percentage that are into it or just don't want to admit that they do it.
Well,
It's a
I
weird
guess
thing with
there's
the way.
only one. There's only one guy in Washington I know that I actually met that comic book is Tacoma Comics. But I don't talk to him. I don't reach out to him and talk to him because our collective style is different. But
Yes,
if he ever reach out to me and ask me a question, I'll give my honest opinion.
information. Yep.
But I would never try to. Yes, Tito. Yes, Tito.
So Gomez, jump on. Actually, it's you guys are bouncing off each other because David is something that you said earlier, right? Gomez, you are able to talk to the people in this panel because you've been watching them. You had interaction with us, and you understand that we're not here to fuss some shit up,
Yeah.
right? So you have a while of experience to be able to entrust us with our opinion, which goes back to what you were saying earlier, David, was how does these new guys know? Like new guys come in, who do they look up to? Well, shit, dude, they go to the bigger channels because they don't know anything. But after time goes by and they start watching everything, that's when they are more specific and be like, I can go talk to this guy because he seems legit, or I could talk to this guy or this girl or some shit like that. So it's funny how it all just
It's a big
revolves.
circle, but you gotta be careful because if you trust this one person and you realize that one person is doing you dirty, it's hard to trust other people too at the same time. But there's gonna always be that group or that certain people that you're gonna be like, these motherfuckers are telling the truth. So I don't know. It's one of those things where if you don't if they it's just bite it goes back to the whatnot bullshit. It's like you're screwing up, so people are catching it. So now you're making it look making yourself look like a like dumb.
No, no, but
It's
okay. There's a thing. You remember this guy named SPT, some kind of wood.
Killer Wood.
Yeah, fuck him.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. But he came out. He came out. He came out as a guy that, he wants to be friends. He's trying to help you out. But later on, you kind of, it's to a point where, hey, Marcus, I'm sorry, but I know he's your friend and all. Even
Yeah, you
Sunshine
good.
things, that motherfucker. I mean, he's another asshole. That he screwed people over.
Well, look, here's my thing. Like, he never actually screwed me over in the traditional sense of screwing me over. But let's say, you tell me your favorite character is, whatever, and I have
Spawn. He's
both.
Spawn. Let's go with Spawn.
Right?
My favorite character is Spawn.
So if I know you're a Spawn guy and I'm a Spawn guy and I have some extra spare books of Spawn, I'm going to throw it to you despite the value of it, right? If it's a $5 book to a $300 book, if I have a spare one, I'll give it to you. What I don't like, and David, you know this,
They flip the shit out of it afterwards.
is they turn around and they sell it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what the fuck, dude? Like, if I gave this shit, and that was my biggest issue with him.
That goes to what I used to watch. When the Doom puts out videos, but back in the day, I remember he was talking about he had a box of books that were AOKs, which means stuff that he's given through the community. Because just like 9.2 crew, we've been around for a while, and that hit me into my mind because I'm not in the same aspect. I don't. Anything you guys have given to me or have given me through the time, I've never sold or turned around once.
Well, I stole them all
because I felt that was.
I stole them all.
Yeah. But that's just how I am. It's just it was given to me, so it has sentimental value more than.
But here's the thing: there is a difference between, hey Tito, I'm collecting Spawn books. Do you have this so and so issue because I'm looking for it? And Tito goes, yeah, I got extra copies of that certain issue. I'll send you to it. And I got it, right? And I end up selling it. That's fucked up, all right? This is my opinion of what AOK should be. You send me an extra book that I asked you for, Tito, and you send it to me and I sell it. That's screwed up, okay? But if I get an AOK, not ever asking you guys, asking Tito for anything, and you send me that book, but that book don't mean. I mean, it has a meaning, but to me, it's like if I can sell that book to get another book that it means something better for me, is that make me a bad person?
No, you just don't give a fuck about the book that I sent you that took my time, that I thought about you.
Oh, come on. Really?
So, that's
but it's nothing. It's not like I don't care or didn't care about the books that people send me that end up flipping or selling. But it's to a point where, like Doom, I think Doom gave me Catwoman 51. He gave me a couple of other books that he gave me as an AOK, not because I wanted it, but he gave it to me as a part of a friendship. And I thinking, if I sell this, I can get the books I really want. And I sold it. And I told him I sold it. And he
have you got an AOK from him since?
What? Ever since? Yeah, no.
Dude, I don't do AOKs anymore. Fuck that.
I know. I'm just fucking with you.
No. It's to a point, like, even people till now, people reach out to me and say, hey, I want to send you a book. I tell them, no, keep your books. Keep your books.
Yeah, because I'll trade them for a better book.
Keep your books because there's going to be, because I'll be totally honest, I'll be telling them, there will be another guy that will be much more appreciative of those books that you sell them than you sending it to me. But I appreciate the gesture. But if you ever need anything from me, I told them you can always reach out, but I do tell them, I don't want any more AOKs. And from then on, I never got it.
Send to me.
Because I don't want
my address. Return to
so don't send me anything. Because it's to a point like, if I can sell it, I'll sell it to get a book that I really want. I'm telling you this right now. But if I ask you, like if I go to Gomez hey Gomez, I really want that book. They're like, oh yeah, I hooked you up. The book that he got me, I still have it.
Yeah.
Because it's something that I asked him, and he took the time to give me his extra copies. But the random books that I get from other people, I do feel that I have the right to
You know
give it.
what? It's like I don't name names, but I remember I gave an AOK to somebody, and they turned around and they sold it. It kind of like puzzled me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, from my perspective, like, come on, I gave it to you, but at the same time, I'm like, you know what? I understand where I stand. It is what it is. That's just how things are. It didn't hurt. Didn't like affect me. It just made me think, like in that sort of way. Like, I, if I didn't like what the person was doing, then I won't do it to myself. It's contradicting it.
Yeah,
That's how I am.
I feel like whatever books I give you randomly, you can go ahead and sell it. And if you can get a better book or books that you want, I think if I help that cause, I feel better about it. But if I go out there asking people, if I go out there asking people I want their certain books and they end up selling it, I think to me that's screwed up. But if a random book was given, I think you have the choice to sell. So get the book, and if I help that cause, I feel better about it.
Yeah. I just feel bad getting rid of an AOK myself, man. I don't know. That's just how I am. I was raised different.
No, I mean,
I was raised. If I want something, I'm not going to use somebody else's things to get what I want. I'm just saying, I work hard for it, and I work hard and hustle, and I earn it. I get it because that's just me. Unless this is a trade towards books that I have on my own PC, then yeah, then I'm willing to give it. Then yeah, but to do something that was gifted to me, it's like a renege. I don't want to renege what I've got, what I was given. I don't know. It's just to me, it's just
yeah,
different.
see, that's the whole thing. That's the whole. But to me is like said, hey, Gomez, you remember there's I think there's that tab number 51 that I sent you right as an AOK as a birthday.
Yeah, I still have it. It's on the
No,
wall.
no, no, no. But if you can, I don't mind you selling it if you can get a bigger books
Yeah, see, that's
for
I
it.
won't do that.
And to me,
I would have regret myself. I said,
like I said, I don't mind, but I wouldn't
yeah.
sell that either because that's a pretty cool cover.
No, I'm just saying in general. That's just my mind. It's like I work hard and I do what I gotta do. If I have so much other fucking books in my PC that I'm willing to get rid of to get what I want if I wanted it that bad. You know what I'm saying? It's just that's the last resort. That's last. I mean, some of these books are the last resort, but I got books from my PC that I'm willing to get rid of. That I buy extras and doubles of one day if I need to, if I wanted to. But my collecting towards I am is like there's big books out there, but I'm not. How you say? It's like I collect different ways, and to me, it's
Yeah,
not.
no, no, don't worry. It just made me look like an asshole, but it's
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Gomez.
I already did like 3 times already.
Yeah.
David, David,
Yo,
The way I look at AOK
hey,
is like this. It's like, let's say,
That was a good one, Jay Salsa.
David, you said,
yeah,
and I'm thinking to myself when I receive the books, and that's why I get like, I don't do it anymore, but I used to get like real sentimental and like emotional when shit like that happened. It's because somebody took their time out of their busy day to be like, you know what? That Tito kid, he might like this book. And that's why I've never sold any fucking books I ever had, is because somebody took the time out of their busy day to be like, I think he might like this book. And that to me is like,
motherfucker. Since you say this, I'm sorry to break you, but the thing is, Tito, there's only 2 books that really counted. I really put my thought into it before sending you that AOK. One was that Batman, I believe, was the first Ra's al Ghul, because I know you didn't have that book.
right.
And second was that there was that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, that sketch, because I know that you were into that turtle freaks with the red bandana.
can you guys hear me?
That's the only 2 books
Okay.
where I put my thought into it, and that was the only 2 books, and I thought that I think this guy would really appreciate these 2 books. But everything else was just more of the filler, saying, "Hey, you know what? I think you might enjoy it. You might do whatever you want." But those are the 2 books that I really thought that you would enjoy. Was that Ra's al Ghul, and that Raphael, that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. That was
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Uh,
TMNT and Batman
Yeah,
signed by, I think it was Williamson.
yeah, by Williamson. Yeah,
Can I cut in for a second?
only two books.
Go for it. Jump in, dude.
Whatever.
Okay, yeah. You were talking about if someone gives you an A-OK and then you sell it to get something else better that's more like your style or a book you're going for, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about when people go to get a signature from someone they've always, dreamt of meeting and being able to talk with, like an artist? They get the book signed, but then it doesn't come back the grade they want, so they sell the book. So is it more about the signature and the experience of meeting the person, or is it because he wanted the grade and the monetary value? So you see what I'm saying there?
Okay, so let me recap this. So you're saying that you received a book from somebody, right?
No. I'm saying
No.
like on that same theme. Like, is it you're giving someone an A-OK, there's meaning behind it. You're giving it to them as a sign of friendship. But then if you're deciding to sell it, it's more for the monetary aspect than the friendship. I'm saying so in that same vein, in that same theme, if you're getting a book, you buy your own book. Say it's like a New Mutants book,
Yeah.
and you go have Chris Claremont sign it, and he's someone you've always wanted to meet, and it's more about meeting him. But when the book comes back, it's a lower grade than you wanted.
No,
So you say,
you're right. You have the all right tendency to sell it.
Well, of course, you can
yeah.
sell it. If you don't like
That's
it,
different.
9.6,
That's different.
9.4, you can sell it.
Yeah, that's
But,
different.
but the thing is, you had the chance to meet.
That's why you get two of them.
Well, no. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, Galore. Are the signature in itself? Do you
Right.
want it on a book because it brings the value, or do you want it on the book because it is the experience that you got meeting the guy?
exactly. How do you would you say it's frowned upon because now you've sold that experience in a way because that was the signature. That's the signature you actually got from him. But if you go and buy the same book that's signed in a different grade that you didn't actually go and get from him firsthand, that's no longer the experience you had. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's why you take pictures. You know?
Post an IG, so you got it.
Here's my thought on signature series. Is one, it's the experience. Is the experience of actually meeting the artists or the writers, right? Second, and if there's many times there's a couple of books that got signed that I never thought it didn't hit the 9.8 mark.
Yeah.
And I say, do I really want this in my collection? Some I do, but some other books I think no, I can do without.
Right.
But that experience that to meeting that certain individual.
As long as you got to meet them, that's what meant.
Exactly.
David, so now we spawn into a whole different conversation piece because you don't need to have a book signed to meet the person.
Facts.
So what then? Now it's all about monetary value, flipping the book to get the most money out.
Well, you all right? I got this book right, signed by Sam De La Rosa.
That's my boy. Hey, I used to live right down the street from
This
him.
one came out right, never pressed.
Uh-huh.
But see, but I won't be able to sell this shit that much, right? Because
That's why you crack it open and just put it on my line with a top loader.
I didn't care about it because of the grade. All I cared about was experience and how I got this book. I got this book on a 9.2 crew auction back in the day. Bought it for
Who
$20.
sold it?
Got
it Bruce?
snapped, got a picture with him. So to me, it goes to like, well, I'll get rid of this book. Not really, because I think that was the first time I ever met this guy. See, that goes back to what Galore said. It's just some things mean for you, some things don't. It depends on your whole situation. I'll probably sell this, save a little more extra money, and get the same book graded at a 9.2 or 9.0.
Still
That's not-
signed though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the whole fact of I didn't care about this. I cared about more about getting it signed.
The signature. Yeah.
Bullshit, Gomez.
But that's
You bullshit. When they came out of 7.5, when you did the unboxing, I seen your face. You're like,
yeah. I didn't even do an unboxing. But you know what? That's just it's the military. What's it? The military value of the experience, and that goes back to go. If you're a hard like collector, like you collect, like you understand what it is, and that's what goes back to what you're saying. Sometimes, but so there's some comics in there that I have signed that I don't mind getting rid of. But there's some that I know that like some stuff I know that I don't want to get rid of because of the experience. And you look at a book and you be like, okay, I remember when I got this book, and as a true collector, that's at heart, that's what you experience is experience. I have stuff from Great Horn when me and my wife went a few years back that I look at the comic and it reminds me of when we went. So
no,
it all depends.
I hear you. I mean, there is some books that I remember my very first signature series that I got. I never get to meet him in person. Well, which I did, but it was years later. It was actually Kingdom. It was actually Tito that I sent my Wonder Woman 184 Adam Hughes cover. He said that he was going to meet Adam Hughes. I remember sending it to him, and it came back as a 9.8. Thank God. But but to me, that book, regardless if it came as an 8.5 or 7.5, I think I'll be like Gomez. That'll be like one book that I'll keep because that was my very first signature series that I got from the from the book that I actually purchased on my own, send it out to get it signed. So that is one sentimental, or you can say it has some kind of meaning for me as a collector, that I would never sell that.
Part with, yeah.
There's some other commission pieces that I got from Mike Deodato, and also from Neil Adams, rest in peace. That there's something, it is more of like a historical piece that that I can keep for myself, which I don't think I will ever sell those one of a kind pieces. But going back again, I think we went completely off the rail when it comes to me think I can't fathom the people who's willing to give money to these people, just to support them, just to get their name shout out.
Yeah, I used to be one of those guys back in the day.
I can't fathom that. So
I was at a signing. I forgot which signing it was, and the signature I think was like $50. I forgot. I don't know if it was Jerry Conway or someone. It was one of the big ones, and I think I was like 3 or 4 people back, so I was close enough to hear the conversation with the person that was getting the signature. And they asked, why'd you increase the price? It's kind of $50. That's kind of a lot for a signature. He's like, you guys are just going to sell this on eBay anyways. He's like, I got to make some money too. So it's like he already he was aware that it was like a commercialized thing. It wasn't like a sentimental thing. You know what I mean?
That's wrong for the artist or actor or whoever it is to do that, because you're doing it for the fans. It doesn't matter what they do afterwards. You're supposed to appreciate the people even make time to come and do that, because even if they're going to sell or not, they want to upcharge this on them. But to me personally, if I wouldn't charge more than probably $10 a cig, or I think some people do like first 2-3 cigs are free, the rest for $5 to $10, because it's not up to them to see what they want to do with. They purchased that product. They actually went through their way of getting whatever they're getting signed. So I don't think they should have anything saying that, because you don't even know if it's fact.
Right.
And it goes back to go ahead, brother.
I think it was just I think it has to do with how common it is, though. Yeah. Because sometimes you see people come up with like 100 copies of the same book, and they're like, oh my God, this guy's this is like a business. This isn't because he enjoys what I'm doing here or anything like that. So I don't know. I guess it's just kind of makes them feel that. Some of the artists feel that's become a common theme, like the monetary aspect of collecting.
Well, we talked about this subject earlier. Is now it's to a point where whenever I see comic calls, it's not about the stories behind it. I went to so and so's flea market and I found
Yeah.
these. I paid $5. I paid $2 for this. So keep hunting, you guys. And so is more of, oh, I got this book. I paid $25 for it. I send it to CGC. I do an unboxing, and they say, oh, came out to 9.6. Oh, it's in 9.6. I paid $20 for it. CGC fee and shipping fee, so and so. But the value of this book now is on a grade 9.6, and so and so and that. Is to me, it's I kind of see where Tito kind of went on a tangent at one time. Is like, fuck. Now this whole is all about monetary value. It's all about,
Yeah.
what's the value of this comic book. It's not about. It's
The
nothing about
hardship of fighting
story
it.
or
I got
about,
it. Yeah.
yeah. We don't have that anymore. We don't have. I don't see podcasts talk about. I remember before early in the morning, every Monday morning, I think was it when no every Wednesday morning I used to watch it called Black God forgot his name, but JT and I think it was Black Flag or something. They always talked about new releases. They'll read a book and they recap on it.
Black Flag Comics. What the
Huh?
fuck? Black
What?
Flag Comics.
No, Black Pole was his name.
Black Pole.
Black, yeah, the
Really?
Black Pole,
Oh,
that was his name. Black Pole, and there was JT.
you remember that, don't you?
Yeah, I remember that Black Pole. Going back is again is I remember starting YouTube channel because we showed comic books
Yeah.
due to the
Oh,
not to the value of it, but due to more of you know the covers. If it's not the story, if it's not the rarity of it, or if it's just it's still buy. It's more of, oh, I got this book for $20, and now it's worth $50 if I so and so.
Well,
It's
I don't necessarily agree with that. I think everything is down to value, monetary value. It's just now it's more prevalent and just out in the open than it was before. Because
Yeah.
you talk about going hunting, well, and spending those hours and hours and money on the gas and such.
Yeah.
That cheap book, but you're still saying cheap, which is still a monetary spectrum, right? Whether I got the UF4 for $1, I'm saying UF4 I got it for $1 because we all know UF4 doesn't go for $1.
Correct.
It's still there. It's just we don't lead off with that. The value isn't the main subject. It is the secondary subject of how we got it and letting people know that you can go out there and get it.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it's still to a point where the haul videos nowadays is not like before. It's all of it. They end with monetary. I think I caught myself doing sometimes like, hey, this book was so and so, but since I got this grade, now it becomes a $1,200 book. It is.
I've done that with a few of my books. I think
Yeah. But now I see more and more people doing it. It's more of, yeah, I got this book, came back at 9.8. Now it's a $1,200 book. So my whole investment on this book.
So it's like for instance, I got was it Batman Cacophony, right? Number 3, the 1 in 25. The Bill Sienkiewicz. That story, I have that book because that story was I found that book for $7.50. It got pressed and cleaned by Cholula Comics. Came back at 9.8. All white pages. That book I found for $7.50. That's always gonna be a book that I see that I gotten for nothing. And that book's probably like a $300, $400 book. I catch myself doing that sometimes too, but I would never get rid of that book because I know that
You
book
don't
is
always
hard
do
to
that.
find.
But the thing is, you don't always do that. But there's many new YouTubers that is always constantly talking about monetary value on a certain book.
Like the entire theme of the channel is that.
He might hate me for it, but if you ever watch Alex the Comic Holder
Wow.
videos, if you ever do, he always at the end talks about how much money he made off the book. Not because he sold it, but
Yeah, he does it. He does that a lot. I watched the
he
videos. I'm
does
not
it
gonna
a
lie.
lot,
He does
and
that a
he
lot.
changed
He
that.
does
He
that a
did
lot.
not do that before. He did
It's
not.
Well,
Do,
he
more
does
recent.
to your
It's
knowledge
more
at the same
recent,
time.
right?
yeah, more recently, he said he bought a golden age or silver age, so and so, got back on CGC. Now this, now this book is a $3,000 book, and that was his thumbnail. I'm sorry, Alex, if you're gonna watch it on a rewind,
He ain't
but
gonna watch
it's
it, but
happy.
keep
But the
talking.
thing, yeah, he's not gonna watch mine. But I see a lot of people who has changed their way of doing the haul video by putting monetary value on a
Mhm.
book, especially when it comes to CGC box unboxing.
Yeah.
Well,
I think it's about the person doing the content too, right? Like a guy like Alex, he's just more talking about, hey, he's adding value to his collection
Yeah.
versus like a guy like, I'm gonna say X person, right? Who's more like, hey, I got this book, you should get it too type of guy. And I think
Yeah.
that's a
He
good
doesn't
difference
do that.
between the two.
Yeah, I just I don't know. Like I said, I sometimes I catch myself doing this, which I hate, which will so call me a hypocrite. But I don't I don't really like to hear too much about how much that book costs. I just want to know
How
more
did you
of
get it?
the stories behind it.
David,
What?
ask you something, David. Let's say, let's say I bought Vampirilla #1, and I bought it at fair market value. Let's say I don't know, I'm making up some numbers, but
Yeah.
let's say I bought a 8.0 for $3,500.
God damn, that's a good deal.
Well, I don't know. So whatever the fair market value
We
is for
live in the 80s. Keep going.
at 8.0, let's go with that. And I went on video and said I got this for a fair market value of X thousand dollars.
Yeah.
Would you would you see that any different than somebody that bought a book for $10 that went to CGC and now it's like an $800 book? Is there a different way of thinking between those two?
It's the, in a way.
Or anybody in the panel? I don't care.
Yeah.
I
Honestly, okay.
The investment potential. You're talking about the investment potential. One's more. At least this is my perspective on what you just said. One's just saying, I bought this book. This is how much I paid. Period. The other one was like, there was like sensation. Yeah, like it's sensationalized. Like I only paid this, and now it came out to like there was a gamble and it paid off type thing.
Yeah.
Maybe that's part of what differentiates those two. One's more of a gamble that paid off.
You know what? I can't say, like I said, I could be a hypocrite, but I just remember I bought a Hawk 181 at a 4.0 for $900, and it got a press and clean, came back as a 6.0, which like tripled the value.
Yeah. But
I remember saying that, and I think and Tito, since you asked me that question, how would it make it any difference? To me, it's like, you know what? Yeah. Now I think about it. It somewhat kind of makes a difference. I'm going to agree with, with comic book galore. It's I rather hear Tito you say, well, I got this Vampire #1 at 8.4 for fair market value. I don't that okay. You paid that much, great. That could be a grail for someone, but when you keep hyping up books like saying, I got this book, but now it's so and so $8,000 book, and later on, you end up selling that book. You because you
yeah,
have.
I see what you're saying.
Let's say
Then you bought that book for $700 book, $700, and you selling it for it's worth 1,000, and you're hyping it. Now you go on to sell for that money because you're hyping that amount, so you can get that amount for the book. I know exactly what you're trying to say.
it's a fine line, but I rather just hear. It's better for me. Bottom line is, it's better for me to hear how much you spent for the book. But 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 if you got it graded like Gomez, he say he got that Batman Alpha, whatever that the Neil Adam cover. He spent $7, but he got a 9.8. So you say, oh man, this is a $400 book now. But I know that he will never sell it. So to me, it's like, if I didn't know Gomez, like, okay, all right,
Trophy.
but
But you won't catch me on whatnot.
yeah, but if I catch Gomez or whatnot, or if a month later, I find out Gomez is selling that for fair market value, then I'll be like, what the fuck, you know?
Hey, so I got
You know,
It's just to me, it's like stop bragging about how much you.
yeah, I'll give you an example, David.
It's, like I say, it's a fine line. Like I say, Alex will hate me for it, but the thing is, he changed the way he does his haul video, and just to me, it's like, why?
Why? Because money brings in the clicks. That's why.
Yeah, well, click or not, I mean, it's just my thing. It's like,
David, well, I forgot what year it was. I think it was the winter of 2018. I just did a haul video. I showed off. I think you know this story. I showed off this book, Punk's Number One, and it was a Hulk 181.
yeah, the homage, yes.
Yeah. So I didn't know nothing about it. And I talked to my homeboy, and I said this all on the video. Didn't know anything about it. I talked to my homeboy from my LCS. He said it was a limited variant cover from New York Comic Con. Right. All this I was saying online on YouTube. So I was like, you know what, fuck this. I'm just going to sell it. So I turned around and I think I put $500 on this thing. Mind you, I spent like $2. So I sold it for, I think it was like 400. And like a month and a half, 2 months later, that book was selling for like $10 to $15. So that has always, that actually what turned me off from selling books is me. I potentially, because I said it all online, all on YouTube, I might have influenced somebody to buy this book and at a stupid price.
Yeah, but that was the book. That was the price that he was going for at that time.
No, it wasn't going for it. That's the price that I put. That was I put that price because that book wasn't nowhere to be found.
Well, there you go.
Well, that's what I'm saying though, is that 2 to 3 months later, that book was a $10 to $15 book. So I just
here's the thing, Tito. If that dude that bought that book from you for $400 to $500, right? Did he know that he was buying it from you?
No, I don't know.
See? So
Yeah,
why do you feel that you had anything to do with that book being sold for $400?
I was the only one that spoke about it. Literally, I was the only one.
Now you being narcissist. Why do you think
No.
you're the only one that talked about it?
Because nobody was. Nobody. And you know good goddamn well, I sent a mass wide message asking everybody what this book is. Nobody knew what this book was.
You know that to a certainty, though.
Yeah. Only within
I'm about 98% yes.
Okay.
But
Because there was no books on eBay. Nobody was selling that book. There was no completed sales. Like
so at that time, the book was considered as a ghost.
right.
And who really cared about Punk? Nobody really. I didn't know anything about Punk. You know.
That's why.
The way I look at it, Tito, man, if you didn't like hashtag and blast your eBay all over the place after selling the book,
he didn't.
it doesn't matter, bro. You good.
No.
That's what the market does, man. We watch a YouTube video, haul video. We're like, oh, that book is interesting to me. We go online. We hit an LCS try to find it. So it's the same thing. You're good, bro.
Are you guys? I have something.
Wait, hold on. So Tito, about you feeling bad about having second thought about selling comic book because you feel that you had something to do with influencing that person who bought it for, not knowing that it was from you for $400. I said, let it go, because I can tell you maybe 99% of the chance you had nothing to do with it. The only thing that you did was to put that book for $500, which there was no history. of that book being sold, and some dumbass want that homage cover, knowing thinking that it's a hard to find book, or or maybe a guy that who's a completist that doesn't really care. He just needed to get that book because once that book is sold, he will never know when he's going to see that book again. So he end up paying $400 for it. 99.9% Tito, you got nothing to do with influencing that buyer buying that book from you for $400. That's
Yeah, see. I mean, it is what it is. It's gone. I learned from that there's a potential of maybe at the time, not anymore. I'm not on YouTube as much as I was, but
yeah, like what James was saying. Let it go.
Are you
Let it go.
so
are you guys are you guys aware of the deals that look? I don't have like empirical evidence of this, but I'm pretty damn sure. I have like an idea that you're aware of Diamond Distributors, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
they print comic books on mass scales. They're a
yeah.
comic book distributor. Okay, so there's probably a handful of comic book channels. I'm talking about the big ones. I don't want to like name people and do all that stuff because I don't want to like muck rack. But
It's okay. Nobody watches my channel.
there were some of the names you mentioned earlier, and I agree with what you were saying. But they have deals with these companies
Of course.
for exclusive variants, and they maybe have like an initial $10,000 investment.
And
Yeah.
these are one of the company, Big Time Collectibles.
So they make an initial $10,000 investment. That might be for 2 or 3 different variants, right? That they're going to have a limited print on, maybe like 500 or 1,000 limited print.
No.
So they buy 90% of those books, and then say they're sold out, and people like feel like there's artificial scarcity that's created. You know what I mean? People like feel that there's none of these books, everyone's buying them, so then they feel compelled to go buy the book, and they pay 3, 4, 5 times the value.
And
Maybe
let me show you one thing. Hold on. All right.
oh my god,
This is the
Is that
30th
the yellow?
anniversary. Huh?
yeah,
This is the 30th anniversary Superman number 75, Death of Superman by Big Time Collectibles. 1,000 print run. Okay?
yeah.
It was sold out within like 30 minutes. And it was selling it for $40 each. I bought 2 copies. I sold one for $100.
Okay,
Okay. Now and what they do, first they came out with that 30th anniversary Superman, silver and gold. Now they
yeah.
came
The
out
gold
with
one.
red.
The gold one
Okay.
turned into the thing on eBay.
Yeah, well, how do you know there's only 150? Okay,
Right.
but this is 1,000 print run. Okay, what did Big Time Collectible do? They come out with a pink foil, limited to, I don't know, 500 so and so. So I just got it for the sake of cover, and I know that it was selling, so I end up getting 2. I put it on eBay for $100, and somebody bought it. If nobody bought it, I would just keep the 2 and give one away as a AOK of somebody. But somebody bought it for $100, so I mean, I got a free comic book right here. But the thing is,
It's the X-Men story all over again, right?
going back,
Yeah,
going back to what you're saying
X-Men
about
number 1.
Yeah,
Weren't there like 6 covers or something? The 90s book.
I mean, anything in the 90s, there was overprinted. But going back again is when it comes to exclusive, store exclusives, don't take the print run as a grain of salt because you never know how many more is out there, you know. But if you like the cover, go and get it. But I was a sucker because something red. I just thought it was cool looking. I got it, and
I didn't catch I didn't catch the beginning of the screen. This stream. What initiated this whole topic?
Because I was frustrated that how I just couldn't put my mind into or get my thought into how people are willing to spend so much
Yeah.
money to these influencers, and how they would hype up certain books, which to me is it would never supposed to be. I don't think, in my opinion, that certain books that they selling should go that high. But you guys made
That's your opinion.
yeah. It's just my opinion of why. But you guys made sense that it's almost like super chat. You're supporting those people, but you s- and like
I've
how
never done a super chat.
well, I did a super chat. I did a couple of super chat to keep it thorough, but it was never like a 20-50 bucks. It was more of like a dollar or 1.99.
Just for fun.
Just for saying, hey, I'm what's up, thorough. But anyway,
That's super chat.
Hey, Dave, you could possibly do a comic guy like somebody else has done, with these unwritten rules or unwritten etiquettes.
yeah,
Guy that showed you how to put a top loader on, the same guy that showed you how to.
Hell yeah!
That goes to what I was saying earlier, where there's an evolution to certain people when it comes to YouTube, right? At first, they're showing the halls, and it's all about the hobby. But somewhere along the line, everything gets muddy, in my opinion, and turns into a business where it's no longer about showing the books. It's now this and that and the other. And where at what point do collecting and business kind of interchange? Because I'll name drop like Thoreau. When was the last time he showed a book? Journos. When was the last time he showed a book? I don't watch Reggie, but does he show books? I don't know. So, but all three of them, they did comic calls. They did top 50s. But somewhere along the way, their MO changed, right? So when people say I'm a collector first and I'm a collector and a businessman, all I'm seeing is the optics of you being a businessman. There's nothing about collecting. You might preach and you might jump up and down and yell at me and have this superiority complex, but you don't ever show me that you're a collector. And that's where I had the issues is don't tell me you're a collector, but you don't show books.
well, it's almost like you're saying, you're not a comic collector if you don't read books.
Well, I don't care if you read. I don't care if a cover guy.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying that, just I know where you're going with this, but it's almost like saying, well, you're not a comic collector because you don't read comic books.
I mean, I guess the basic foundation would be that you're not a comic collector. You're not showing me any books. All you are is discussing current events in the comic book community. Like, okay, cool, but can you show me some books since you're a collector?
Yeah, well, I hope I don't go to that length where I stop showing comic book and talk more, more current events. That is not my per se, or is not my thing. Is I every time anytime I go live like this is because in my head I'm thinking something and I need someone to tell me that I could be wrong, or maybe I could be right. Or give me an idea of why is it happening. And to me today is like I told you, I cannot fathom how a individual would spend so much money on a certain thing to be recognized, or to, how would you say it, to be in part of that group, or to support that someone by giving them monetary value for it.
David, David, you bought a bunch of those acetate covers, didn't you?
No, I did not. I did not. Thank God. Thank God. Oh, but I mean, I did some stupid thing, but it was just not for the support. It's just, but I would never. I'm sorry to say to anyone, but I don't think I would never ever give you guys money to be my friend or to for me to support you. If I'm gonna support you, I'm gonna support you in a whole different way. You know, so that's why I cannot fathom. But now, after having this discussion, having talked with you guys, I realize that okay, maybe my mindset is that yeah, some people just do it for the support of the people they love to follow or they do admire.
Oh, it is. Yeah. I mean, I, that the
And
amount
then
goes that way is kind of crazy to me, but yeah.
yeah, and this and the whole recap is that that is one that people are willing to do whatever it takes for them to just support the channel or support the people or the group they feel are important to them or to have some kind of influence on them. And the second part is about me, about halls or people that are having showing talking about monetary value on the books that they have is like okay. And I think Tito has said it is I think it's more for the clickbait, you know, to get more clicks.
What gets most views on YouTube typically, right? Your top
Big books.
Drama.
Yeah,
Drama has
drama.
number one
Absolutely.
click. Drama has a number one click.
Well, when I'm talking about comic books itself, not the drama.
What comic book within the comic book community there is always a drama, and when there's a drama, somebody's going to talk about that current event within the community, and that's where they get the clicks.
Yeah,
Second,
but
Or big money. Or big money.
or yeah, or something, you know.
top 50 books or monetary value books is what gets like most clicks, other
Yeah.
than drama.
So that's what I got. And the third is talking about AOK is that not everybody thinks the same as I do. Is that some people really value the books regardless it has any monetary value on it if it don't mean anything, but it has a sentimental value that certain individual will go out of their way to send the books to them, you know, and if they will never sell it. But that to me is okay. I can respect that, but I hope you guys can all respect that certain AOK that I do receive from that I did receive from people, I did sell it to get the books that I want, and I want to, and sometimes I do thank them for helping me to achieve that by me selling that certain books
Let
because
me,
because one I never asked for it.
No,
Okay.
people just thought about you.
Yeah,
Like it.
yeah. Well, I'm just being honest. I never asked for books. I never sell the books that I asked for, or I requested, or say so and so. You know, I asked Big E's one time, hey, do you have that what's that? Deathstroke covered by Martina. He had extra. He sent it to me. It doesn't. It's not worth anything, but to me, I asked for it, and I love that cover, and I got it. I still have it. All right. And there was
David,
yo,
can I ask you? Let me ask you something, just to backtrack a little bit. We were talking about like the pushing books on people, like the new latest hottest thing, and then the next
yeah,
month it's not worth anything. Now let me ask you this though: if you were watching someone's channel and it seemed like they were pretty knowledgeable of what was going on as far as like market trends with specific books, and there was a book you did not yet own, just for example, right now, let's say you didn't have a Hulk 181. It was
okay,
on your back burner though. That was a book that in the future you could see yourself buying.
okay.
But they say, look, these trends are happening right now, and it's a good time to purchase this book before it explodes. Would you say that that was someone trying to manipulate things? Because it seems like it would be less likely, because it's not like they can go buy, unless they're super rich, they can't go buy like 200 copies of Hulk 181. Would you say that that was still someone trying to manipulate things?
I don't think you can manipulate a book that is already been like talked about 181.
Right.
Okay. But I remember as a part of the 9.2 crew, I remember I talked about Namor when Inhumans was going to be on ABC TV. It was part of the Marvel TV series, and they talked about they were making something in Hawaii underwater. So I remember saying maybe Namor will be the book, and I remember I got that book at a 7.5, and I said I got the book. It's not like I told them that I already got it. I said Namor is the book that maybe you want to get into. After 6 years, what happened? 5 years, what happened? Boom. That 7.5, which I got it for $175. Now I don't know how much. I can tell you probably $500-600 right now.
Would you regret buying it if it didn't do that? Or would
No,
you not regret it because you always wanted it anyways?
no.
That's the
I
trick.
got it for the sake of speculation that the value going to be there. I got it for 175. I sold it for 250. I made my $75.
Mm-hmm.
But do I regret it? Maybe I should have hold on to it a little longer. No, because Namor was never my guy.
Okay.
Okay? Right now, I'm in a verge of I'm on a fence because Miles Morales was my guy from the day that I started collecting. I gave away a lot of UF4, the first print as an AOK. I gave the Fiona staple one of the 50 variants to various people. Some came back as a 9.8, some came back as a 9.0, but there was never a point where it was a monetary. It was just more of this is the guide I believed in. So here
Mm-hmm.
to my friends that I chose to give to, and they're very happy. But I'm on a fence right now. I do own a 1 out of 25 Djerkovic signed by Bendis, Hickman, and Clayton Crane. I'm on a fence. Maybe I should sell it. Should I sell it? Should I not? What's up, Doom? So,
So, Doom,
but you know what?
looking
I
good,
remember
fella.
Tito. I remember Tito always said this. There's all certain grills that you want once you get it, but is that a really your grill because you're gonna end up selling it at the end? I'm at this point right now. That was my one of my grill for Miles Morales. I'm in a point of selling it right now. It's on the market. If anybody wants it for 9,500, reach out to me. I'll sell it to you. You know
But you know why you're doing it though, so that right there is different. Like you're
what
doing
was
it
that?
to attain something. You're doing it to attain something you're really looking to get. Like
You're right, Marcus. That was my next goal. If you know, I guess what was it? I saw a video earlier about gatekeeping or some shit like that, and younger me would have said, David, are you selling it because you don't see the value going any higher, or are you selling it because you want to get something bigger?
I
You
can
know,
say right now. I can tell you right now. It's nothing about getting that AF-15. It was just more of selling it now, get them so I can be a little bit more financial. So I can be a little bit more have a cushion on my financial situation.
well, I mean, yeah, that's different. Like, if you got to sell books to make sure that you fucking eating, then bro, sell. Like, don't go
If you're
start.
selling books, if you're selling books to eat, stop collecting books.
Yeah.
It's not about eating you. It's just more of my. I mean, I have a bigger plan than. But AF-15, I know that book will always be there, regardless what the value goes up or down. But I know that AF-15, so that's always going to be my back
Are you
burner.
scared? Are you scared to get the A15?
Who me?
Yeah.
I might what?
Are you?
It's kind of high right now.
Well, no. I'm saying is, well, fucking David's been saying that he wants A15 for about 6 years now, and it's triple or quadrupled since then. But
Yeah.
you're scared to get the AF15 because that is your end of the road. There's nothing more after that.
There's not going to be an end of the road. There's no way.
Um,
There's no way.
I can right now.
There's-
Right now, I can say that if I do buy that AF-15 because of what grade it is, I'll be done. I'll be done.
Sorry.
No, honestly, I'll be done. This is my mindset right now. After I get it, I don't know what I would think.
Oh my god, bullshit. Sorry.
Batman one.
But the thing is, the AF-15 is on my back burner. It's not like something because that book will always be there. I said within maybe 5 or 6 years from now, once I retire, so and so,
It's
maybe I
obviously
might
not
have.
even, it's obviously not even a priority.
No, it's not a priority anymore. I
Because
just
if it
want
was
to
a
see my
priority,
book.
it was a priority. You
I've
would
been
have.
telling people, I'm not joking. Anybody wants to buy my collection for 30,000, go ahead. You know, I'm willing to meet you guys halfway and give you the book in person. My whole collection, my F-15, no, my UF-4,
Don't do
you know,
it.
Are you
my.
just bored? Are you like? Do you feel? I just saw Dune's dick. I'm just
I
saying.
mean, it's not the black pole, but
Yeah,
But do you feel like you're done? Like you're 1 foot out the door?
yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, I feel that way too. I'm not selling my shit, but like as far as comic books, I think I've been.
You've been out of it for a while.
I just don't. I got what I want, and I'm super satisfied with the way my collection is. There's like
Right.
3 more books that I want, but after that, that's probably it. You know,
Are the current market trends influencing that though?
Not for me.
not.
It's just the books, man, or the characters. If you're chasing it, you're chasing it. If you're not, the market is gonna do it. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But I'm like Tito, man. I got like 3 more books on my list that I'm really chasing. After that, I'm kind of like, if I see something nice, cool, I pick it up. But like weekly, monthly hauls, that shit ain't happening no more.
No,
yeah. And the thing about it is like this market, whatever you think of it now, I think the longevity of it's always going to go up. So there's no wrong time to buy a book, especially if we're talking about what I think you guys are talking about. I don't know what you guys talk about, but if you're talking about like blue chip books, like
Involvement in the hobby, because I've kind of been like kind of less involved with purchasing, not necessarily because I'm not involved in the hobby anymore. The market has influenced some of my decisions, because I just see too many needles going up and down like rapid. You got 1 week it's
but
up and
that's
then
only been this past couple of years that it's
yeah.
been super volatile market, and COVID had a
There are books.
COVID had
Yeah.
a huge thing to do with it. And then after COVID, and then you're going to see a lot of books go down right now because it's the season. This is the Christmas season. A lot of people are dumping so they can buy regular gifts.
Just so no one misinterprets what I'm saying, there are books that I want legitimately for myself, not to sell, just to have for myself. But if it's like $10,000 right now, and in the next 6 months it goes down to $1,000, why would I buy it right now? Even if I truly wanted to just keep it for myself.
God damn, what book is this?
I'd rather step back.
Black Panther 3.
What, Tosin?
Yeah.
I think Tosin's a long haul.
So,
People-
so
people-
to me,
people
to me
are-
right now
people are
is to
too
a point where certain grills, like for me, AF-15, right? That would be my end game, per se. That book will always be there. Somewhat,
Every book's going to be there, bro.
yeah. Well, not all. Well, certain books are really
What?
fucking hard to find. Okay.
Wow.
I mean, look at you and your Vampirella, the D. Scott Campbell, one out of that.
It's hard to find, but eventually it pops
Yeah,
up.
eventually it will be there. But what I'm saying is, eventually, I will have it in my possession before I die. Let's say that.
Right.
But
The thing is, with the AF-15, that book will continually rise.
Yeah,
There's
that's what I'm saying. Right now is the best time to buy.
but it's always going to buy. Like a
Always
1.0 back at 2016 is not the same value as a 1.0 in 2022. A 1.0 at 2022 is not going to be the same value it is in 2025.
No.
So
Yeah, well, still,
that particular book is always going to go up. So
Yeah.
if you have the means to get it now, then I would say get it now.
No, that's why I'm saying it's not a priority on David's list, obviously, because if he wanted it, he would have gone get it.
yeah, I would have gotten get it already, but no.
Yeah, because when I got mine, like I had to find ways to make the money work. No, but I'm saying like it was at that time, finding $7,000
No, right.
for a 3.5 was a huge stretch for me. But if
Yeah.
I wanted to get, so now a 3.5 is way more, right?
Oh yeah,
But I think if I was in David's position now, I probably would have gave up on that.
no,
Don't you have a 9.8 Derjovic?
for me,
Yeah,
no, 9.6.
Derjovic.
Yeah,
Don't you have a 181?
I sold it.
Oh, you saw the 181?
Yeah,
Oh shit.
Yeah.
What else do you have? I'm trying to. Don't you
I
have
sold-
a
I
48?
sold
Don't
that
you have a 48 and a
48.
49? You have a 48?
I sold it.
Okay, never mind. You should give up on your dreams and hopes, man.
Hey, fuck.
But here's
With
here's
friends
here's
like these.
but here's the reason why.
Go get a new one. Go get a new one.
No, but here's the reason why. I know you helped me with it, Doom, getting that FF48, but that was a whole part of the speculation that I was holding,
Yeah,
and
but
I
that
think
speculation was two plays. Speculation one was that he was going to come up.
yeah,
Speculation two is you can never give up on a 48.
no, I did. The reason why
But I'm just saying,
No, no.
Silver Surfer is so iconic. You would never give up on a.
I understand that, but it was like me getting. It's like me thinking about getting. It's like saying, how come you don't get like Black Panther #1? Because that character one never resonated to me, and Silver Surfer
Yeah.
never resonated to me. It was not a character that I was favor of. I just got it for the pure of speculation, and as soon as I see the market peak and coming slowing down, I had to let it go.
Weren't we just talking about people that sold these books and now he's over here?
No, I just let it go. But
Freaking
the thing
hypocrite.
is, it was never for the grill to get AF15. It was more of, like I said, having a cushion on my more of the financial because I have a bigger plan than AF15. It's my own personal situation right now, which is not being bad. It's more of trying to make it better.
Well, you know what? That $30,000 offer for your collection just went down. You ain't got a 48. You ain't
What
got.
about? I thought that 9.6 UF4, the Ultimate Fallout. I thought that variant cover was like 10 or 15K.
No. The last one it was sold for 8,000.
Yeah, it dropped.
It's dropping.
Okay, I had no idea. I was like, wow, what are you talking about? That book by itself is,
Well,
Yeah,
the
8,000 on a
9.8,
blue label. Since mine got
9.8
free
at one time.
signature.
The 9.8 at one time was going up 40, going up to 40.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I think I'm not too sure. Yeah, I'm not too sure where it's at now, but
But I still do have my GXS1 because I don't know, just somehow I feel that
that's so your GSX1 is how I felt when I wanted to buy either an X-Men or a giant size X-Men. I don't have the giant size X-Men anymore, but I resonated more with the GSX team versus the original X-Men team.
That's
So
why I
know how
kept
you
the
feel.
GXS.
I know how you feel about the what are you saying, that you don't resonate with Silver Surfer.
No, I like Silver Surfer. With with the Wolverine, I already got second. GXS1, so I had to kind of think of it like, you know what?
You got a 94?
What?
You got a 94?
94 what?
X-Men 94.
No.
You don't have this $30,000 collection is bullshit.
No, I mean it's worth 30 grand. I still got my few other books that is
He's
worth
got like
few
20,000. He
thousand.
got 20,000 $1 books,
It did also Fallout 4.
and one Ultimate Fallout 4 9.6.
30K. OVO.
All right, man. This show has gone a little bit longer than I expected, but I want to thank Tito, Doom. Thanks for joining, and Marcus. Thanks, brother.
Hold on,
And
hold on,
Jose
wait,
Gomez was on here too.
yo, yeah, Gomez, Mahalo Gomez. What
hold
was
on, hold
that?
on. Doom.
What's up?
So, how's your collecting? You don't make as many videos as you once did. Are you slowing down, or are you just low key?
Oh yeah, no. So ever since my son started golfing, that took. I mean, I I'm not.
Took all of his money.
Yeah. So, I mean, so
Fucking golf.
everybody.
I'm telling you, golf is that is
The
not a cheap sport.
country
Yeah. So
club fees. You got to pay those country club fees.
well, no, there's not that, but like there's something similar to that, right? So it's like my son has a private coach, right? And then there's golfing every week. There's driving range. My son is 13 years old, so it's like, the equipment that he used a year ago, he can't use it this year. So, there's a lot of. So right now, that's more of my priority. I still enjoy comic collecting. I still enjoy watching these things. I'm actually planning to go to New York Comic Con next year. So that's
I
going to be
saw
like,
that.
that's my big, so I'm still invested in this hobby, but I think Tito's right, where it's like,
January.
where it's not like there was a toy and comic show this past weekend. You know, the one they have at Alamwana
Yeah, I
Hotel?
don't want it.
Okay. So I didn't go to it. Like prior to this year, I think, I would have gone. I would have made every attempt to get to that show because I knew there's going to be deals there and yada yada, and it's just fun talking to all the vendors because Hawaii is so small, so we know all the vendors, right?
Yep.
So it's just getting to know them and just saying hi again. But this year, I didn't go, and then I was just thinking like, and my wife was super supportive. She was all, I would ask her if I go, what's my budget, and she's all like, don't whatever is whatever, right?
Yeah, but your focus is something else right now. Is your son's golf.
Yeah, and that's all it is. That's really all it is. I mean, I miss making videos. I miss going on the hunts. I miss getting in those dirty boxes. I miss going to the comic shops. I miss going to garage sales and all of those things. Because you never know what you're gonna find. So I miss that thing, but I think right now my focus is just somewhere else.
Yeah. Well,
So
see, even for me, it's like my focus is starting on my own business within a
yeah,
year or two. And also buying a home for the
yeah,
thinking about retirement. It's that's what
yeah.
it is.
Yeah,
So
but I missed. I mean,
you
and to be
know,
honest, if I started going to a comic shop today, I don't even think I knew what I'd be looking
you
at.
know,
So everything I would want to collect would be from like 2018, 2018 and
and
back,
back.
or maybe 2019 and back. Like I don't know what happened between, like every once in a while I pop in, I'm all like, influencers are buying stuff ahead of the line, and Comic Tom is still an asshole, which we talked about a long time ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we saw this guy coming. We saw the evil in him a long time ago.
Yep.
And just like I kind of heard what you're talking about and your frustration,
Yeah.
and I get it because we we seen the influencers before they even had the title of influencers. You know what I mean? We saw this thing coming, and we kind of talked about it, and here it is. It's exactly what we thought it was going to be. The whole store variant thing, it was something that I think a lot of us, when we were doing YouTube, what, 6, almost 7 years now,
Yeah.
um, we saw this whole this whole thing coming, and it's just like it was a small snowball, and it just became this craziness that we saw. And it's kind of unfortunate for a lot of, I feel the people I feel worse for is the new people in the hobby. These are the people that I feel the worst for. Like these guys are the ones I just feel bad for, because the thing about it is when you're new, you're going to get taken advantage of. There's no way around that. And then you slowly learn as you collect, right? But I just feel really bad because if they started in the pandemic, like what a worse time to. It seemed like the best time, but it was actually the worst time.
as a
I think
as a buyer.
as a new collector,
Yeah.
as somebody is coming in, and new collectors, you've seen them when they make videos. They're so hype, they're so ambitious, they're so excited, and then yeah, I just feel bad for these people. I just really do. And it was something that unfortunately we did see coming, and it kind of sucks. I don't care about me. I don't care about the people that's been collecting for a while. If you're still stumbling after all these years, it's kind of your fault, right?
Yes, true.
But all these new people, I just feel really bad for them, because it's just
Hey, dude,
they're getting fed a lot of bullshit, and I just what's up?
hey,
Well, well put, Doom. Well said.
but you know, here in January, I'll be up there, so at least take one day to go to the comic book shop.
Oh, you're gonna be here?
Yeah,
Oh, by all means, please hit me up.
I'll be up there for a few
I'll
days.
take you to the correct comic shops. I don't know about what you guys have over there, but we have shady ones and then we have good ones. I'll take
Oh,
you to the good ones.
that's one of the biggest reasons why I don't do comic book calls anymore is because,
You buy too much fucking toys.
yeah, that's because I'm not spending money on comic books. But the comic book shops over here are so overpriced now that it's just like I go in there and like, you fucking out your mind, and walk right back out.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'll take you to a fair guy, a good guy. I'll take you to the right one. And then there's actually a couple of vintage comic toy shops here. I mean, toy shops here. So you can go visit those as well. If not, if I'm working, I'll at least give you the names.
Uh,
All right, guys. Hey, I'm sorry to say, but I gotta cut this thing. And hey, Doom. Once again, hey, thanks a lot, bro. Mahalo.
Yeah, no, I'm
And
here.
then, and Tito, you still there?
oh, yeah, I'm still here.
All right, man. Well catch you guys on a group chat. All right. Thanks for joining us, and for
All right, brother.
people in the chat, thank you very much for you guys showing up. And until next time, guys. Aloha malos and shoots.
All right.
Later, y'all. Take it
Don't
easy.
forget OnlyFans at Black Pole.